live in a moment. There we are. We're live. Hello, hello, hello. How goes it, people? Let me update Twitch here in a moment. Boom. Let me jump on to Twitch. Let us go through and edit our setup. Because I've got the wrong D&D group on there, so let me get my extension up. Not too bad of a day. Not too bad a day at all. Been chilling out. Kind of tired today, to be honest. Just had kind of a rough day. Chilling out. Been working out daily, and today was the first day I haven't worked out, so, a little tired. But, I've done a bunch more with streaming, so that's been kind of nice. There we go. So we're all up and down. Alright, cool. And I don't need you open. Perfect. And yeah, just been kind of chilling out, having some fun. Definitely haven't had any pre-workout, but I had some post-workout. I just think I don't know. Maybe it's just the lack of exercise or what, but we are here for Rejected Potential, and I'll do a recap from last session at the beginning of this session. We'll see if we actually have a session today. It'll really depend on if everyone shows up by the end of pre-show. It's not my job to at everyone as usual. I just chill out, hang out, wait, let them figure it out, and then we do it. But today we have a theme, so I'm excited about that, and hopefully that'll all come out well. There we go. Now I can see my voice, so that way making sure I'm loud enough for you guys. Let me, that is...
Hello.
Yo, what's up, Maya?
Nothing much.
Good to hear.
What's up with you?
Been working out every day, first day off, a little tired, usual stuff.
How's it been not being able to go to a gym?
Honestly, I've dropped like 7 or 10 pounds so far. I'm down to 203.5 as of yesterday. And I have already lost around 2% body fat because of it after about 3 weeks of working out. And yeah, so actually, it's been a good improvement. Can't complain. What about yourself? Have you been doing some at-home workouts?
Not as much lately, but definitely have had work to make up for it. I'm planning to get back into trying to work at home more, but again, we don't have like any equipment, so it's just kind of like sit-ups, push-ups, crunches, squats. Like I can't do anything major.
Yep. Hey, I feel that. I mean, I've got 2 dumbbells, but that's about the only extension. That only adds about 3 extra workouts to what I do already, so.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this, with my new job, I bet I'm getting a lot of steps in. So, I don't have to worry about going on mile runs or anything because I walk so much.
Nice.
I can literally see the calf muscles developing, and I'm like, well, I guess it's a good thing.
Time to start doing your calf raises. Got to get them shaped
Yeah,
now. That's
yeah.
awesome, though.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm definitely happy with the improvement, even if it's not super major.
hey, every little bit helps. It takes time. You don't just
Mhm.
start dropping weight like crazy. The only reason I am is because I
No.
stopped eating 3,000 calories and now I'm back down to 2,000. Kind of easy to cut when you're
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah, that's true.
Are you still going for more of that androgynous build?
Yeah, still hoping to get more of that.
Good to
I'm
hear.
still definitely way more effeminate, but that's just because that's my natural body.
hmm
So,
Well, work to accentuate what you want, as I say. I've learned
hmm
I build shoulders really quickly, so I work out my shoulders pretty heavily. Meanwhile, my biceps don't grow worth a damn. It takes a lot. So, you know,
it's Yeah, I've noticed some muscle in my biceps, not a lot, but it's like my forearms and stuff like have no difference at all.
Yeah, forearms are hard to grow. I've learned a few tricks that Wolf taught me for exercise for it, but the problem is you really need weights to do forearms.
Hmm.
Because it's yeah, there's two muscles in your forearms that you want to grow, and you want to grow them evenly, otherwise your forearms look weird. And
Yeah,
I will tell you, my forearms have deflated since I've stopped hitting the gym. So home
yeah.
workouts just don't do it.
Nope.
But that's okay.
I'm
Huh,
still getting healthier, and that was one of the main goals, so I'm just happy about that.
there you go. Hey, I'm proud of you. Keep it up. I mean, honestly, that's the hardest thing is keeping the hobby. So,
Hmm.
I know. I was gonna ask, how's school going with all this going on?
They're having us try to do like online classes, but
Mhm.
I'm from a smaller school, so I don't think we're really equipped to do it
Mhm.
that well. But also, it's just like chaotic. Like I had a math assignment that's like I have to do this, which I didn't have my math notes at first. I finally got them. They was left at the school, and I still
Mhm.
need my history book
Mhm.
because I didn't know it'd be like canceled because we were doing spring break like right before the virus got big. But
That's right. Yeah.
this like not only do we have to do this problem on math, they're like you have to peer review at least three other people. I looked at the comments on it so far.
Mhm.
There's like two people. So like 95% of the class isn't doing it. So I'm like, how am I
Mhm.
supposed to do this? Like I can't. Or there's like another thing where the English teacher was like, everyone edit this Google slide and tell me how I'm supposed to contact you. And like six of the 20 something people
Mhm.
actually did it. So it's like, I don't know. I'm just hoping it's not going to like really count against us or anything because it's like, if so, it's like, I don't
Mhm.
know.
Hey, welcome to college. That's normal.
Yeah, no, the thing is, like, I'm hoping this doesn't carry over next year because I was like supposed to start doing like early college classes and stuff. It's like, I don't even
Mhm.
know how that's gonna go now.
Yeah, that's it will be interesting. I mean, to be fair, they're not going to hold you guys back because it's a, whole worldwide thing that's going on.
Hmm.
Um, but they'll probably have to figure out what they're gonna do. I mean, every kid's dealing with the same issue. To be fair, I mean, my little
Yeah.
cousin, I'm trying to teach him from second grade stuff to get him in class and stuff like that, and he still believes Fridays means weekends. So,
Yeah.
I,
I'm not so
mhm,
much worried about like graduating later. I'm just worried about like education wise falling behind because I'm like again, I'm already from a smaller school, so
mhm,
we're probably not as advanced as maybe some of the bigger schools and subjects. But like also now with this going on, it's like if I have a bad year where I basically for like the last part of the year don't learn anything, it's like I just don't want to be in
mm.
like hindered in that regard.
Well, start looking up curriculum that's normal for your
Yeah.
grade level, and then go on like Khan Academy and start going through videos and learning stuff on your own. Like that's the best you can
Yeah,
do.
that's what I was thinking about doing because I like to do some stuff just like in the background, like casually anyway, but I might
Mhm,
really just start trying to do that on my own. Like I have band, but it's like I can't really do band stuff online, so I'm just gonna have to look up my own stuff to practice and just make sure I don't get rusty.
mhm.
You
There you
know, it's
go.
like yeah, I can't really. But the thing that sucks is I'm playing flute, but I was also after school learning the electric bass, but it's like I
Mhm.
can't take the electric bass with me, so it's like I can't really practice that, so I'm just gonna have to try to remember,
Well, for that one, it might
you
be
know.
better off that you just focus on your flute stuff. Although I did not know you
Mhm.
were in the band, and I want to make a joke, but you're a minor, so I can't make that joke. Um, when
I'm a
you're older,
bard, man. What'd you expect?
when you're older, remind me, and I will explain the joke later.
Someone clip this and just have that saved.
For 5 years in the future.
5 years
Um,
in the future. Well, technically two. That's when I'll be 18.
wait, are you really? Wait, so you're the same age as Trent?
16. I
Oh,
turned 16 in January.
oh, well, happy birthday! I didn't realize that.
Oh yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm not that young.
She's almost not jailbait for the chat. All right.
No.
Neither's Trent though, so
Please.
be excited, Terry. I know you're out there somewhere. Um, but no, that's
You should
awesome though.
make. Have you made Terry an NPC yet? Because I
I'm
think you should.
I'm debating on it. I really am. I'm definitely thinking about it. No, as far as it goes with the school stuff, I mean, if you, have you decided like what kind of career you want to focus into, or do you have a general idea of what you
I
want to do?
have two general ideas for now that I'm really into sciences, especially
Mhm.
stuff related to like biology, like with animals and botany, like plants. They're my
Okay.
big things, but I'm also really into art. So I
Mhm.
haven't like chosen, but like those are the two, like things I'm into the two.
Mhm.
I don't know a good word for them coming to
So,
mind.
majors, or
Yeah.
general
Yeah.
ideas for a degree. If I might give a recommendation, then, if those are the kind of two general ideas you're thinking of, um, when you do start looking at university, I would actually recommend majoring in, if you're gonna do botany, or farming, like agricultural specifically.
Hmm.
That's a great major because there's a lot of money in it. It's a comfortable living, and there's always a need for it. Art I would take more as a minor, just because although art
Yeah.
has a potential to make a lot, it's a lot like YouTube or Twitch. You sometimes you blow up, sometimes you don't. So I would be careful focusing
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
But
That's
yeah.
why I'm always thinking I'm into art and I definitely want to keep that going, but I've been thinking like logistically, like if I was to make a career, I would probably make it science based and then
Mhm.
just keep art as like a strong hobby
Mhm.
or like like a part-time, like not full-time definitely, but it's
Yeah.
just I like to art too much to just stop it.
Well, yeah, you could take it as a minor. I mean, and then when
Mhm.
you get out and graduate, people see that and they'll be like, "Oh, that's really useful. That's kind of interesting." Um,
Yeah.
and if people ask why, that you can tell them, "Hey, this was just something I enjoyed and wanted to keep studying it." So, I mean, I definitely recommend it. I don't ever recommend giving up on something you enjoy, especially if you can further
Yeah.
your education. But if it's not going to make you much money, you want to make sure that you do take that into account as well.
Yeah, I think there was like some it's not like early college, but it was like I think like a workshop program they were offering.
Mhm.
I think one of the classes they were offering was like learning cybersecurity, and apparently the class was offering like advanced degrees, and I think like the average paying job like in a county near mine was supposed to be high paying. So
Mhm.
I was thinking maybe like picking that up if I could just to get the degrees, get a high paying job, keep that going for a while so I could like afford to take, all the courses to
Mhm.
actually do a job I want and then maybe, you know,
Mhm.
quit that, get my dream job, but like maybe like a financial stability like cushion thing, but I don't know.
Well, if you want to do accounting, let me know. I'm happy to start teaching you everything I know, if that
Yeah, the
does
problem
catch your interest.
is it requires math, and that's definitely not my favorite subject.
So I'm going to teach you a quick little tidbit. Well, I'm going to tell you two things. The first one you'll laugh at. So I was talking to Trent about this because he was talking about how he was thinking about giving up on being a doctor and just going nursing. So when I graduated high school, guess what my GPA was?
What?
A 1.7.
Really?
I graduated with the lowest GPA possible to graduate high school. And I mean, I'm one of those very few people, or one of those people who tends to tote his intelligence. That's pretty well known. Um, I'm considered on what would be considered a genius IQ. Of course, IQ tests are basically tests that just tell you how good you are at taking, puzzles or doing puzzles. So
Mhm.
it's not necessarily fair to judge someone's full intelligence based on that.
Yeah.
Um, but the thing is, I'm always been really good at math, but I got C's and D's in math throughout middle school and high school because I just didn't care. When you get
Mhm.
to college, accounting, and this is where my advice on that is, accounting is all done in Excel. It's not math anymore. You don't actually have to do any math other than the fact that you have to be able to say, "Oh, I know this number is different from this number and they shouldn't. They should balance out. So let me look through here and let's see where my equation's wrong." That's what it is. It's not, "Oh, let me write numbers on a chalkboard or do math problems on paper." Everything is done in Excel. It's just learning the formulas. That's all accounting is, honestly.
Really?
Yep.
How
Take
much
it.
does accounting pay?
Well, a CPA, well, accountants, okay, so a general accountant is typically what you'd call a private or finance accountant. That is someone without any extra certificates. Typically, you're looking at between around 60,000 is about a rough start straight out of high
Mhm.
school or straight out of college. With a CPA, you add on another 10 to 20 grand, depending on. And then after that, anything extra you get, like your ACFE, your BI, BA, there's tons of extra like certificates you can get. You keep adding money upon money onto it. And then as a CPA, being a tax accountant, That's more dependent on your clients. So if you're working with really rich clients, you're gonna make a lot of money. If you're working at, say, like what's it called, H&R Block, I mean, you're probably looking at around 70,000 a year takeaway before tax. So yeah.
Oh.
And actually, out where you live, they'll probably be paid more because of the fact that you say you're in a small town. Well, small
Mhm.
towns and like out of the way places typically have one accountant in the area, and so they pay them more because they're not only dealing with the entire town's accounting, but the fact that they're also the only accountant there, so they can charge their own rates.
Yeah.
Like a good example, when I was finishing up my associates, I got an offer for Bend, Oregon, which isn't really in the middle of nowhere. It's a well-populated city, but it's not as big as, say, Portland, where I actually live. They were offering me around, I think, 26 an hour to start, whereas if I worked in Portland, I was making looking at about 19 an hour. So
Mhm.
that's kind of the idea you want to think about. Accountants are one of those very few things that are very valuable, depending on where you are. And the more certificates you do, the more valuable you become. So, whereas like what I do as finance, it's a little different because a lot more my thing is I don't have to do as many certificates. I just have to have more years of experience. More years of experience I have, I get paid a lot more, like scaling wise, compared to an accountant. So, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, definitely from a smaller place. So,
hmm
like, it's a lot of just kind of older people, like in the town directly where I live, and there's a lot of like agriculture and farming around where I live.
So
So
you
not a
could
lot of.
you could study accounting and you could minor in like agricultural, and that could actually be a very good blend for working with farmers and stuff like that and build doing their
Yeah,
taxes for
I
them
mean,
because farmers make a
I
lot.
like gardening and I like plant stuff, but I don't know if I want to go full agriculture for a future career.
Well, that's why I said take it as a minor. It means you only have to
Mhm.
fulfill the minor. You don't graduate with your major in it. You just end up having a background in it, and it better helps you apply the two together is kind of the idea. Because if you set up shop where you live, right, and you've got your own little uh let's just go with company. I can't remember firm. If you have your own little accounting firm there, and farmers come in and say, "Oh, okay, well, how do I know you even know what farming is?" If you've done your minor in agriculture, you can say, "Hey, here's what I've done. I know what you do for a living. I've taken classes in it, and I'm very well versed. I can actually help you because I specialize into this." So it's not necessarily a bad thing to take a minor, and a minor isn't a lot of classes. Technically, I could have a minor in game design right now if I wanted to because of my previous degree. I chose not to, of course, but that's because I use those credits to help my own stuff out. But that is something you want to consider when you're talking about becoming an accountant. Having a minor in something is also very useful. But accounting is also can be rather difficult for some people. I mean, there's a lot of technical stuff. There's a lot of really terrible books. Um, that's just business in general, though. I mean, you got to be willing to put your nose down and grind at it. That's what my best advice on as far as business in general. So,
Mhm.
but I think you could do well. Like I said, don't be afraid just because you think it's math. It's not math. It's not hard math. It's basic addition and subtraction. No
Okay.
joke.
Okay.
The hardest thing you will ever have to do is depreciation models. And to be honest, most accountants already have pre-worksheets made once that they just plug stuff into that already do it for you. So, much easier. And tell your
No
dog I
kidding.
says hi.
No. Oh my gosh. Hang on.
It's okay. I can't hear him now. I just happened to hear him before you muted your mic earlier.
Yeah, someone pulled in, and they're the small type of dogs that bark at literally nothing. Air. So they're Chihuahua mixes.
hmm
So if that gives you a good idea. But yeah, no, I'll keep this in mind.
Yeah,
Definitely.
feel free to if you ever have questions. Myself, Wolf, and Fuka are all going through college. I mean, I'm about to finish. Wolf has done both a religious school and is working on towards his engineering degree, and then Fuka is doing his psychology degree with I think a minor in either theater or music. Which obviously both those are going to be useless in the workforce, but he enjoys it, so it's a fun thing to take.
Hmm.
And then Fraz is getting ready to do his associate's degree in something with backstage like production. That's all I can say. It's like he wants to work with music and videos, movies, like the backstage prop creation stuff. So you know, you've got resources. Just come ask us. We're happy to talk to you. I mean, I got
Yeah.
I got Cameron, off his ass and figured his life out to a degree. Almost got him to college,
Speaking
but
speaking of, where is he? Because I know like Fel and like Dulkin, they didn't reply to the message, but he did, and like no one else
mhm.
is here.
Well, if they don't show up, I'll just keep it as a podcast like usual,
Yeah.
and then you can
Just
ask me all
do
the questions you
a
want.
explaining college life to a high schooler.
Hey,
That's the title.
I wish someone had when I was your age. But to be
Yeah,
fair,
no, definitely.
to give you an idea, when I was your age, I was planning on going into the army. I was working on getting into the junior ROTC program that we had coming in my senior year of high school, and I was getting ready to plan to become an army ranger. Of course, I was too fat, but it was a goal. And yeah, that was my only hope. I had no interest in college, no plans on furthering my career. If I hadn't been
Mhm.
turned down for college right now, I'd be in the military. Or if I hadn't been turned down by the army, I would have been in the military. So,
Huh.
yep. I was fully set on enlisting. I had been working with my recruiter for 2 years by the time I graduated, and as soon as I got those or that one charge kept on my record, couldn't get taken off. The judge wouldn't let me off fully. That was the end of me. I was never going to be able to enlist. So that's when I decided I'd go to college after working for a bit and just walk down to the university, applied, and they say, hey, yeah, we'll take you in. But you've got to give us your SAT scores. Problem was I didn't have them at the time because my SAT score screwed up and they didn't give me the proper code. So I went in and retook their test. I don't remember what they call it. It was their equivalency thing, and I scored off the charts on their math, writing, and reading. And so I got in, and they basically said, "Cool." And then I went to my university for a year and a half, 2 years, something like that, before starting my own company and dropping out. So yeah,
Yeah.
don't do. That's my biggest advice. Don't do what I did. Don't start a company halfway through college and drop out. Don't do that.
I don't think I'm good enough to manage a company. I don't think I'm bossy enough.
Neither. Well, I was definitely bossy enough. I was just not ready for it. That
Yeah,
was
no.
way too much. Oh my god, so many long nights. I tell you. I don't ever recommend that. My big thing is work for someone else first. Figure out how to follow, and then learn to lead, and then become a
Mhm.
leader. That's a big thing. But yeah, you're
Yeah.
always welcome to ask me any question you can think of about college, and I'll do everything I can to answer what you can come up with. So.
Yeah, because definitely college is like that big scary
Mhm.
next part of the life looming ahead, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, it can be. Um, the big thing is realize college, high school teachers, and I love this in high schools, because my high school teacher used to tell me this all the time. In college, it's going to be so much harder. You're going to have so much more schoolwork. It's going to be so much more difficult. Your teacher's going to be stricter. You're going to have a lot more tougher groups because everyone's going to be as smart as you or smarter. This is, of course, because most of my teachers knew I was an arrogant little shit. Um, and yeah, the thing was is that I just when I got to college, the teachers are lax. I've had one bad teacher, the entire time I've been well, two bad teachers the entire time I've been at university, and
Mhm.
yeah, otherwise, they're laid back. The schoolwork is so much easier. There's so much less schoolwork 'cause I only have 3 to 4 classes, whereas you have like 7. The turnaround for turning things in, most teachers will give you a whole week to turn shit in, or at least an extra day. So you'll have like one day in between your class. So technically, it's 2 days to turn in, and that's easy. You know, once you get a work
Yeah.
ethic down, it pops and goes. You know.
Yeah. I think it'll be good for me if college is pushes me, but like doesn't over stress me because one of the issues I've been having, especially a lot recently,
Mhm.
is like motivation. And my mom's even commented, or if I'm motivated for something, I have like no problem doing it. Schoolwork, I could stay focused, but if I'm like if a subject doesn't catch my attention or I end up
Mhm.
getting bored, I get bad procrastination issues, and that's where problems arise. And so, as long as I can avoid that, I'm sure I'll do fine, probably. But if I like ended up, you know, getting in a cycle where I procrastinate and don't do stuff, then I'll definitely be screwed.
Maya,
But
I'm gonna tell you something right now. That's called being a high school student. That's called being a human being. We all do it. Don't worry about it. Don't panic. It's not a bad thing. We all do it. just know that, the hardest thing to overcome that is you just got to put your nose down and work sometimes. It
Mhm.
sucks, but you just got to do it. And that's honestly it. Everyone deals with that. I deal with it. Wolf deals with it. Fuka deals with it constantly as a little shit he is. You know, it happens. Honestly, just, know that when you start to feel like, I'll just put this off, just say, no, I'm going to sit down, just do it and get it done because I don't want to have to do it later. That's kind of the idea, mentality you kind of got to work on and developing. And it's not going to pop up the first time. It took me 3 years. So, you know, just realize that and, try work with it. So, but yeah, like I said, and depending on what college you start, I mean, when you get into your senior year, we can sit down and have a chat and start getting you applying for colleges, getting you filling out the FAFSA,
Mhm.
getting all that stuff going, so you can kind of figure out what you want to do. Because I mean, my senior year is definitely the big time to start, applying. I didn't apply my senior year of college, so I mean, I'm not much experienced at, but I know how to fill out college applications and I know how to fill out scholarship applications. So that's
Yeah,
just
I'll need those.
there you go. See, and just think about that. And depending on I recommend community college first, so that way, in case you decide to change your major, like after the first term, you're like, oh, it's not nearly as
I
expensive. You know. Go ahead.
I
Sorry.
believe the program the high school has me going with is it's supposed to be it's a community college. It's like a 4 year, and I believe I do like 2 or 3 years in school, and then I'm supposed to like do the last year
Mhm.
like after school, and then I can get like all my degrees and stuff, and then I can go on to whatever college I want. So it's definitely community college first.
Yeah. I mean, I just definitely that's my biggest advice. Even if you weren't part of this program, community college first. That way, because you might decide that, hey, you might try accounting. You're like, what, I gotta be honest, I really don't enjoy this, and you can switch
Hmm.
majors. And if you decide to do a complete 180 to like something completely out of business, it's not going to hurt you as bad. University costs so much more and you don't want to have to do that.
Hmm.
Like I think I talked to you guys about this. I switched from accounting. I was an accounting major when I started university. After my first term with that terrible teacher, I went from being in love with accounting to switching straight over to finance. I jumped onto it and luckily they're so close enough to each other at that point that I didn't really need any extra credits. It was fine. University, that's not something you want to do at that level unless they're right next to each other, like they're the same classes you're gonna need. So that's why I highly recommend community college just in case, you decide you want to try something and you don't like it. It also gives you a chance to work on your minor and get some PE classes in there, to get the working out, get kind of used to
Uh,
college life, stuff like
uh,
that. Yeah.
Community college, do they have a lot of like clubs or like
Mhm.
extracurricular stuff? Because like if they
Yep.
have like a lot of clubs like that, one of the issues I've been finding, which is probably why I wasn't the most fit kid in PE, is that I don't mind outdoorsy stuff like horseback riding or hiking and getting physical there, but it seemed like when it came to gym or like sports, I just despise it.
Okay.
So like it's like
That's
if I can get a club that could get me active, but it is more like outdoorsy, that's
mhm.
fine. But it's like when it comes to sports or stuff, I'm just like, ugh. Yeah, maybe it's because I'm afraid of getting beaten down by a bigger kid and like getting my nose broke or something.
Well,
I'm definitely not that competitive.
there are sports in community college. There are bands. I mean, there were so many clubs. I joined an anime club for like a week. There's tons of stuff. One sec. Let me I'm gonna just since no one showed up before 3, I'm just gonna call it. But we can chill and talk if you want.
Sure. I mean, I have nothing else. Like, I'm not working today, so it's like I can
Um.
chill.
Okay. Well, then this works perfect. I'll switch over the title real quick to something else, and I'll uh just reject it.
I have
Podcast.
the pun book, the joke book with me if you want me to
No,
read a
no,
few.
no, we're good. We are a
What do
hundred
but,
percent good.
but you got me this. Don't you want me to just give you a little taste?
Nope. You know why I bought that for you?
Why?
So that way you could torture Cameron with it.
Oh yeah. I should definitely like just pr private message him a few of these jokes, just spam him.
Mm-hmm. Nope, nope. That was That was 100% just to screw with Cameron.
Oh,
I knew you.
Dolkin's in here now.
Oh well,
Hello.
Dolkin, we're not streaming. We're just doing kind of chatting and hanging out now. So you're welcome to
Okay.
stick around or not.
So no D&D
We're
then, or
No, because not everyone, no one, only person who was here before the before pre-show ended was Zaya, so or Maya
hmm
here, so we didn't have enough people to show up.
all right?
So sorry, man.
No, it's all good. I'm
All
gonna
right,
get off then.
all right, have a good one, man.
have fun.
He can, I mean, I'm at this point ready to bring in an extra member for rejected potential. I'm thinking about recruiting.
Maybe.
Anyways, so but yeah, you're welcome. I mean, as far as college goes, there are tons of clubs. You can do hiking clubs or outdoor clubs. Even at my university, we have a hiking trails club that you can go on like massive hikes and stuff like that. They take you all around the state. And I think a lot of the other, pardon me, just trying not to belch loudly. A lot of the other universities around the area have something similar. It really depends. I mean, you can look and like look at the websites and stuff, and they talk about their curriculum. Um, but yeah, so I mean, it really does depend on what you have an interest in.
Yeah, because d- Michigan here, we have a lot of hills and stuff, but we don't really have a lot of like no mountains around where I'm at. So maybe there's hiking stuff, but I'm not sure.
I mean, I
Because
use
like
them.
again, I'm in the Southern Peninsula, so.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I use All Trails. That's the app I've been
Mm.
using a lot. I don't know if it works for your area, but it works for mine pretty well. But you know, Oregon's well known for our hiking. You know, that's one of the biggest things about
hmm
coming out here. Have you
I
kind of?
mean,
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say Michigan's definitely got a lot of thick forests, but I don't know about good hiking forests.
Oh, okay. Fair enough. Yeah, I don't know, and I also don't know what your wildlife's like out there.
Yeah, we got a
Um.
lot of not anything too bad, but we got a lot of swampy, marshy areas
Okay.
in some places. Like when I was shed hunting, one of the areas we went to was like really not good for walking. Like they had to put down wooden boards for like a bridge so that way you didn't
Uh,
sink in the mud and stuff. So
and it's what hunting?
shed when at the end of winter
Uh
male
huh.
bucks drop their antlers, and so some people instead of like hunting, they just go looking for the naturally fallen antlers. Like so they have antlers without
Ah.
having to get a license to kill, or if they don't want to kill an animal and stuff
Oh.
like that, you can just go out looking for like antlers,
Uh huh.
and just it's fun to go outside.
Oh, okay. It's mostly
Yeah,
just to get outside.
yeah, and I like antlers. I like how they look, so it was like, why not?
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, have you figured out what kind of universities you're looking at, like that you'd like to attend?
Not yet. I haven't done too much in depth on like individual universities around here, but I think part of that's like I'm still not 100% sure where I want to live when I grow up. Like I don't know if I want to stay in this small town near me, but I
Mhm.
don't think I want to go to like a big city. I
Mhm.
prefer the country. So it's like I feel like I have to figure out my ideal location before I like settle on a college or university yet.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this. Typically, you don't end up living in the same town as your university.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't live in downtown Portland. I will never live in downtown Portland. God no, it's god awful down there. It smells like sewers. It's bad. But going to a campus or going somewhere different to get a different experience is also something really useful to have. So that might be something you might want to contemplate is look at I mean, it's better to look at universities that kind of fall into your major that are very good at it. Like I chose Portland State because they're very well known for their business majors. Um, but at the same time, you can also look into maybe universities that might be of a different kind of lifestyle to you or have a different area. Like for example, Fuka's coming out here to Portland State because he fell in love with the city. He just likes the city compared to where he lives, and he wants to be as far away from everything that he's dealt with in his life as possible. So
Mhm.
there's that kind of idea. Um, I'm doing Portland State not just because of the business thing, but because it was right here and I didn't have to travel and I don't drive and I'm lazy. So it's like, okay, it's a max ride and I'm here. So I would actually kind of look at different experiences that you're looking for. more than anything to get an idea, and then make sure the university is good. But it's now, this is the year that you kind of want to start like creating a list of your top 10 universities you'd like to attend, as well as the community colleges you want to apply to, just so you have an idea of a list and you can kind of follow what they do over the next year or two and figure out what kind of
Mhm.
events they do, what they're known for, and that way you can kind of start crossing things off the list and kind of narrow it down to where you'd like to apply.
Yeah. Definitely gotta figure stuff out before it's like right at the deadline.
Hmm.
Like, don't want to do an all-nighter, but I definitely still don't know. And I definitely want to experience more and be open to more things, but I'm also trying to see if I can find places that are friendly to me, DM. You know
What?
what I'm referring to.
Well, then I mean, I would look at very liberal colleges. I mean, I think
Hmm.
that's one of the reasons why Fuka like PSUs, because there's a larger gay community than any other university in the area. Um, Even though we later found out Fuka admitted he was pan and he has a boyfriend now, so I don't know why he cares about that anymore. But because he was looking for a boyfriend at the time, he's like, "Oh, perfect! A university that's known for its gay people. This is great for me." That, and I think he fell in love with the gym. But I would, as far as your own personal stuff, I would look at more liberal colleges at that point. I would look at like kind of how they deal with people individually. Like I said, Portland State's very well known for taking all kinds. We have the highest or the largest school with the most minorities. Minorities, I say in air quotes, because nowadays white is considered the minority in the U.S. But having people from all over the world coming of different skins, creeds, all that. So we're really big on that, and there are a lot of universities like that. They're more on the West Coast because typically on the West Coast you run into more liberal ideals than East Coast where it's a lot more what's the word for it?
Older fashioned.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Cause yeah, I know I'm in a small town with a bunch of old people, and we have like one gas station but 3 churches
Yeah, that
in
sounds.
this town with less than 300 people.
Oh man, I can't imagine that.
No, yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I grew up Catholic and Wiccan. I can understand the issue when it comes to like religious views, but gods, I can't imagine a town that small. I've driven through towns
It's
that
like a
small.
village.
It kind of reminds me of there's a city over here. Well, it's not a city. It's city by tradition. Called oh shoot. It starts Damascus. It's considered a city, even though it's only got a population of like I think 400 or 500, and it's so spread out. It's like like it's huge because it's all farm country. So when the actual town itself is one street block. They have a restaurant there. They have a general store. They have a gas station, and then the other
Yeah.
store I can't remember what it was, but yeah.
Yep. No, our town's the 3 churches. We have a feed mill. I think a Cars place, but I don't really know anyone who goes there. A
Mhm.
furniture place like no one uses. One gas station. We call it a corner store. It's like a general store. And then
Mhm.
we have like a small cafe that really only old retired people go to. And then I don't even know if the pizza place is actually like open anymore or if people even go there anymore. So like yeah, we have like oh, and the school. The
Mhm.
school's like literally like down the road from me where I go. So it's like that's all we have here besides just houses and like
Uh-huh.
the fields behind where we live.
Yeah, so I honestly, if I was in your boat, I would look at maybe trying a bigger city,
Mm,
just to see how it is. Start
yeah.
looking at the campuses. I mean, I recommend the West Coast. I always do. Just because it's beautiful out here. It's a very big change. However, it might not be for you. I mean, Portland is well known for having its small communities as you go to Eastern Oregon, where it's mostly
Hmm.
farming country. But on the western side of the state, it's lush forest. It's a lot more bigger cities, very green. I tried to get Cameron to come out here at one point, back when he was living with his mom in his car, because honestly, he could have gone to community college for free coming out here. But of course, then Cameron found a whole good setup for himself, so I was like, okay, no worries then. But yeah.
How
Hmm.
how hot is it over there? Because I feel like the biggest challenge for me moving to places there is temperature because I'm definitely a cold person.
So I will tell you that right now, we were we were in the 40s for the most part until just
Hmm.
about 2 weeks ago. Now we're currently usually around between 60 to 70 degrees is kind of unusual for us about this time of year. We only get
Huh.
we get maybe to 100 degrees for like a month during the summer, and
Eh.
that's very rare. Usually it's in like the 80s, but we have so many rivers that run through our towns and cities that most people just go chill at the river all day in the shade.
That's fair. If I had a
So,
river near where I lived.
yeah. And
Yeah.
honestly, yeah, I mean, it's not that bad. I'm a ginger. I don't like heat. I mean, I don't like the sun. I'm liking summer because it
Yeah.
means I can go shirtless, and I'm working out a ton, so I want to show off. But gotta
Yeah.
plug that here. But I do say, as far as it goes summer wise, I mean, we usually get worse winters than we do summers. So
Yeah, and Michigan's bipolar, so it's like I'm used to not maybe extreme extremes, but I'm used to unsteady weather. Like literally this month, we were like 60s. It was
mhm,
warm out.
mhm,
Everything was growing. Then we had sun snow, like
mhm,
just this last week, like just snow. There was hail. There was like some sleet, and now it's
mhm.
all melted and it's like getting hot again.
Yeah, that's Portland in a nutshell. I feel that depend in March. March is a big one where we'll have snow in the morning, and then it'll be like a good balmy 50 degrees by the end of the day, and then we'll have snow again at
Yeah.
night. So I feel
The
you.
only the issue is when you're someone who's trying to plan out a garden and you're like, when should I start my seeds indoors so when I have to put them outside they don't die? And
Mhm.
Michigan's like
Mhm.
hot, cold. It's like,
Yeah, yeah, I feel you. We've been doing planting. We just had the landscapers come by today and do a bunch of work. My great aunt's really big on having a lot of plants. And she's got this massive pepper plant. We're trying to figure out where to put it. But since I live in a place called Rockwood that used to be a riverbed, we've got the soil's kind of tougher out here, but it's very rich. It's just tough to
hmm
dig. So I'm not looking forward to
yeah,
digging it in the heat because then you got these big rocks you got to pull out. Whereas the mud, it's really easy to pull them out. But yeah, I mean, I definitely recommend look into universities that are different from your hometown because then you get a new experience. Because you don't know,
yeah,
you might like a big city. You may not want to live in the city directly, but you might want to live near one because you enjoy just
yeah.
having the events. Like I said, that's why I like Portland so much, is because I'm just far enough out where I'm not in the city, but I can go into town. It takes me a half an hour, and I'm happy. Um,
hmm
and
Yeah, and I
then
could see that
see, there you go. And then
because
don't. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say that because I definitely like being out near the nature, like the country, but I feel like I like being close enough to the city where I could go to like more advanced things, like maybe a museum or like
Mhm.
an aquarium or a zoo or like all these big things that a small place in the middle of the all these farmlands wouldn't have and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. And don't think that just because you're there for university, that's going to be where you're going to end up living. I mean,
Mm,
look at me, for example. I'm about to finish university, and there's a good chance I'm either moving to Durham, North Carolina, or I'm heading up to Seattle, Washington. You know,
really?
yeah. The job I've applied for, and that I'm pretty much almost guaranteed to get a job with the company, are going to have me in one of those two places. They also wanted me in San Diego, California, but I turned California down because I don't like California. I don't want to be there. Nothing against people who live there. I just don't like beaches. I'm sorry, that's not my thing. I like rivers and stuff like that. I don't
I
do
couldn't
beaches.
handle the heat and
Exactly.
like the desert. I have a friend in California who says she lives near the desert area, and I'm like, I couldn't. I
Mhm.
could not have grass. I couldn't have a fake lawn and be happy.
Right, I feel that. Yeah. But
Uh,
yeah, I would start. I mean, now's the time to start making a list and kind of just figure out what ones catch your eye. Write down why. You don't have to apply to them. You just got kind of an idea. Do the research ahead of time so you don't have to do it
mhm.
later.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I'm gonna run to the restroom real quick. I'm gonna be right back.
Okay. Speaking of Cam, I don't know if you saw my message in the chat, but we're not doing D&D today, so if you want to stalk around, you can. But I'm just telling you in case you didn't see it, because you've been here muted the whole time.
I've been here muted because I was cooking.
Oh, well, maybe that's why you didn't see the message. But yeah, we're not doing D&D anymore. DM's just talking with me, helping me explain stuff for college.
That's fine. I plan on hopping on my laptop and just playing a game for a minute or relaxing while I played, but D&D's canceled then. That's fine.
Yeah, no one was showing up like after when it was like way after pre-show, like Dulkin and no one showed up, and then you were probably, I guess, busy with cooking, so you weren't here.
I was a
But
minute
yeah.
late. I knew I was.
Yeah. Also, what are you cooking?
I made grilled cheeses spiced.
Ah, I cooked last night. Yeah, adulting.
What's up?
Oh, he talked about he was cooking.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just reminding him there wasn't D&D in case he didn't see my message, and I
Oh,
just
okay.
told him I had cooked last night as well.
Fine. I still have to be an admin over on Gaia.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, I
Uh.
made admin somewhere. Are you shocked at me?
Yeah, very much so. But then again, I'm more shocked about the fact that during this quarantine, I've had 4 games now cancel for D&D. And it's
Yeah.
like, no,
It's
everyone's
like
home. What the hell?
Everyone's home and they don't
people.
want to deal with you.
No, everyone's home and they're sleeping in, so apparently they forget to
Yeah.
come to the session. I set an alarm because I know if I stayed up real late, I could sleep in. But I'm like, okay, I gotta set an alarm so I have time for D&D.
Yeah, no.
So I'm responsible.
Well, I've been up. I mean, to be fair, I've been up since 6 a.m. and I've already worked out twice. It's
I don't go to. I haven't gone to bed a night during quarantine until it was 7 a.m. There was one night I stayed up till 7 a.m. So
seriously. Jesus.
yeah, it was the daylight was cresting the sky, and I was like bedtime.
What the fuck is wrong?
Yeah, I'm too
It
old
was
for
a
that.
bad night. I was. Look, I forget what I was even looking at, but you know, you get sucked
I'm sorry,
into
I'm
looking
not
at
gonna
stuff.
pull on all-nighters anymore because I know I'm gonna wake up.
It wasn't an all-nighter because I slept in till like 4 p.m.
Oh my god.
I'm the type of person who I'll stay up late if I know I can sleep in.
You
If I
just
can't, I'll
learned
try to go to
twice.
bed more reasonable time. Okay? It's like I have to get 8 hours. So it's like I either go to bed earlier if I have to wake up earlier, or I just stay up super dumb late and sleep in late.
I can't
Maya,
imagine.
Maya, I suggest you don't go to a regular college because you'll never make it. Just
No?
Nah,
because you like to stay up late.
No, college
I'll
is
try
actually
to
easy.
fix my college. I'm
College
gonna
is
try to fix my sleep schedule. But like my
Let's
family's
make the joke about
nocturnal.
having to go to night school.
Listen, alright, Cameron doesn't know what he's talking about. Let me explain to you something how college actually works. Alright, you pick what time your classes are for the most part. Now, some classes you can't really negotiate because they're only at set times, but you pick
Mhm.
your schedule for the most part. And even then, not all classes are attendance required. Sometimes you can show up late, sometimes you don't have to go at all. You know, it depends on the class. It depends on your own personal schedule. I know some people like to take classes at night. Well, they'll take 5 to 8 p.m. Personally, I can't do that. I'm like exhausted at that. I'm in bed by 7 or usually 7 or 8 p.m. because I get up at, 4 a.m. in the morning. But, some people like that. So that is something to take in, is that it's up to you, how you want to plan that out and how the college is set up.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna try to fix my sleep schedule at some point, but I find I'm more active at night, or I don't know, I can stay up easier than wake up. Like I'm definitely the first to wake up in my family. Like
Mhm.
not the first, but I'm like the easiest to wake up. Like my mom and sister, they can have alarms, they'll go off, they'll sleep in. I could have my alarm go off and I'm up right away, but
Mhm.
I like staying up late, and definitely, especially my sister now she's getting older, like we could all stay up
Mhm.
all throughout the night, and like all of us would just be up, and our mom has to be like, okay guys, it's 3 a.m, you guys should go to bed, and we're like, okay. But we're not tired. So it's just, I don't know, just how we are, I
Yeah.
guess.
I mean, then you might want
But
to take night classes then.
yeah, well, I think I have problems, maybe because I'm up late, but just like sleeping, and I take like a medication for it, and it helps, but like definitely might want to look into night classes.
Well, I'm gonna tell you something right now. As far as the working out thing, since you've gotten into that more, one of the biggest things with working out, and one of the reasons I'm able to like cut weight and build muscle now so quickly, besides the fact that I've started taking medication to up the levels for what I was supposed to be at, but that's more of a medical condition. As far as like natural working out, one of the reasons my lift started improving so well as I started this last year at university this last fall is because of the fact that I started sleeping and waking up really early. So I'd go to bed at 7 and like pass out by 8. I would be up at 4 a.m. going to the gym. So because I was getting that full 8 hours, and of course, as you get older, you need less sleep, which is nice. At my age, I only need 8 hours. At your age, you need like 10 to be comfortable.
Yeah.
Um,
12.
I was able, I was able to start lifting more because my body was recovering. It was getting enough time. So that's something you also want to take into concern when you start working out is that make sure you're getting the right amount of sleep.
Yeah. So like, does the time you wake up for the 8 hours matter? Like, does waking up early have like an effect on your
Yes.
body to help you work out? Okay.
Well, it doesn't have an effect to work out. I recommend for my body personally. This is different for every person. I work out heavier in the mornings when I haven't eaten. Usually, it's like before I go lift, I could be lifting out my max that day. Like I could be doing a full day of maxing out on every workout. I only have a granola bar. That's less than 100 calories typically. That's it. And then I drink my pre-workout, which is 0 calories, and I go work out. Some people are the opposite. I know, like one of my favorite guys for watching for weightlifting, Eddie Hall. He eats a full English breakfast before working out, and that's a lot of calories. And then goes and works out like around 9. Some guys I know who like to work out at night. That's actually the typical American thing is to go and work out after work. My only issue with that is personally by the time I'm done with my day, I'm tired. I don't want to deal with
Mhm.
shit. I just want to go to bed.
Yeah.
I don't want to work out. So I find that working out in the morning, getting it done, gives me more energy throughout the day. Um, I'm able to get the rest of my shit done. Because I go right now, even with quarantine, my schedule is like right now for Mondays are Monday through Friday are my busiest days, where I'll get up at 6 a.m. I'm working out by 6:30 a.m. I do a full body routine, and then now I'm doing a half a mile run. Then after that, I shower, I eat my breakfast, and then I hop on. I stream from 9 to 11 a.m. Boom, that's done. And then I eat my lunch, which is typically something small. Again, I'm not eating that much throughout the day. And then by the time I'm able to go to my 12 to 2 stream right afterwards. And, it's just like getting that morning workout in, I feel is so
Mhm.
much better for you.
Yeah, and I'm
Cameron's up for it.
definitely feeling that. Like after work, I definitely have a period where I just lounge around because I'm tired from work, and I'm
Mhm.
like, I could just nap now. But
Yep.
obviously I stay up late because I can't nap. But I feel that, so I might
Mhm.
look into getting up earlier, but
Yeah. I mean, like
no
I
promises.
I mean, at my age, to be fair, when I was your age, I didn't like getting up early either. I would sleep in till 8, 9 o'clock easy. Now if I sleep past 6, I feel groggy all day. So
Yeah,
the older you get, the more it changes.
and plus now that I'm gonna be doing more gardening and stuff, it'll probably be better if I wake up early to tend to the plants than if I wake up at noon and
Mhm.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
So it's just I'm dragging my feet on the matter.
it's hard, but you start to work it in, and you get used to it. Working out is the best thing you can do for your body, unless you're a clubfoot.
Wow, to call him out like that right when he came back.
Uh huh. Well, I can give
Oh, he's
Cameron
not
shit
responding.
because Cameron knows I worry about him. So, uh,
Mhm.
but yeah, as far as it goes, I mean that's you got a lot to contemplate. Um, on it, I think one of my biggest things when I was looking at colleges, and I hate to admit this because it sounds so bad, I was the only I think the legitimate reason, the only reason I chose PSU was just because I didn't have to drive to it. I, I didn't want to live on campus because it
Mhm.
was gonna be expensive, and I could just take Max.
Yeah,
So
I don't have my full license yet, but I'm definitely not the most eager to drive, but I think that's more a fear of getting into an accident
yeah,
than
yep.
just not wanting to, cuz it's like either I could die or I could kill someone, and I couldn't live with either technically if I died. And if I, got in an accident, hurt someone, I'd feel bad. So I'm just like, do I have to?
Then my recommendation: look at a university that's you can live on campus is in the middle of a lot of stuff. So, because that makes it a lot easier.
Where Elon Musk, where's our like private flying cars?
Yeah, no kidding.
Where's my hoverboards?
Or the
Teleportation devices.
self-driving cars. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Oh
I
my
mean,
gosh.
you got some options. I would definitely take them
Hmm.
into account and start looking, studying, and saving up money for whatever you decide.
Oh
Remember,
yeah, I'm a money hoarder.
well, out of state's more expensive, so that's something you got to contemplate for university. And kind of get that kind of start working it on. I mean, I would always recommend PSU, but to be fair, if you're not going for business, I don't recommend it then. It's a nice
Mhm.
campus, and it's beautiful, but that's just because I've been here and I like it. You know, I've lived in
Mhm.
Portland most of my life. I've traveled to other states. I can't say I've ever liked any other state city. So, but you know, that's just me. That's because of where I grew up and how I live. I like
Cool.
that taste of ghetto mixed with downtown life.
I don't know about cities here, but I could tell you Michigan's got pretty beautiful scenery,
There you go.
nature-wise. Especially up north, where
Mhm.
people haven't like deforested everything and put corn everywhere.
Hey, that corn's
Michigan's
saving the
just
city.
slightly more coniferous Ohio. We just have
Oh.
more pine trees.
See,
Basically.
I've
And a lot more lakes and hills.
I'm looking forward to going to Ohio. I've got family out there, so apparently my mother
Yeah.
was born there.
I haven't really been. I went to like a class field trip and we went to like a theater, but that's like
Mhm.
the one time I've been to Ohio. So I don't actually know much about it.
Yeah, I have a feeling you're gonna get a travel bug once you get out of that town.
I would like to travel if I could afford it, just because I'd like to experience other places and see other places.
That's what happens to most Michiganders once they leave Michigan. They don't want to settle down.
Yeah, so you're talking to the right guy, because one of the things I've been working up is something for me, Wolf, and Fuka. Because we're planning on doing a bunch of traveling, and then Fraz is gonna be joining us.
Like
Probably midway through.
it for the states or like out of the country.
Out of the country and in the states.
Mhm.
So for example, that's why I'm trying to get set up in Seattle instead of going out to North Carolina, because I want to be able to bring up Fuka to Pike's Market, which is a really famous market out here on the West Coast, where it's basically, if you ever go on YouTube and look up or see videos of people throwing fish in a market around, like these massive fish, that's probably Pike's Market. That's what they're well known for, is these singing, dancing fish throwers. They
The
legitimately are
fish
picking up.
throwing barns.
Yeah, they're like picking up sturgeons and tossing them over the counter, wrapping them as they go, singing songs. It's amazing. Plus they have everything. It's kind of like what you'd expect of, like, if you visited the Philippines and went to one of their little local markets. They've got like little shops in every little nook and corner of
Mhm.
random stuff, and that's basically what Pike's Market is. It's beautiful.
That
Um,
sounds fun.
we plan to do that, and then me, Wolf, and Fuka are talking about doing Europe, doing a backpacking through it, because I want to
Mhm.
go to France really bad to see Rollo's grave and Charlemagne's sword, and then I think Wolf wants to visit Germany, and Fuka just wants to come along, and then us plus Fraz are planning on heading up Japan and then the Philippines in the following years after that. And then we're also talking about, when Trent's in college, going and visiting him in Florida. So, and just doing like a beach
Yeah.
weekend.
I mean,
So,
I'd
If
like
you
to
go
go
to
to
Florida,
Europe and stuff.
avoid the Wendy's. That is Florida
yeah.
man's stomping ground.
I'm not worried about that. I'm a pretty scary guy myself. So, um,
Or will you become the next Florida man?
no. Sorry, I don't do drugs. At least not those kind.
Not enough Bud Light.
I don't do the fun kind of drugs anymore, sadly. All my shit just,
Anyways,
sucks.
I will say this: I've been considering doing.
Doing what?
I've been considering doing some light exercises to make myself feel a little better.
Oh
Good
no.
job.
I'm shocked. Um,
Just gotta get milk jugs and start working up the bicep.
You remember me when I was living on the farm. I could lift up 50-pound bags with one arm.
I
Yeah, you
don't
also
believe
had
that for a
rabbits
second.
and chickens.
I don't believe that Cameron was ever in shape. I've always imagined this short little fat kid with a club foot.
Well, I was chubby. I've always been chubby, but I had the muscle mass behind that.
Yeah, he was healthy. He could lift more.
I
Well,
don't
life
believe it.
happens.
I don't believe it. I've never seen it. Cameron, you're gonna have to join me at the gym.
I will join you one
I'll
time
be there
at the
to
gym.
record. I'll record the whole
One.
thing.
You can
But guess
post.
what? You have to come out here.
We can post it right next to Fuka's video.
Don't
And all right,
have him
Cameron.
out here, because then I could get dragged into this.
Oh, you
Oh,
will
I'm
be.
not ready
Come
for
too.
that.
You will be.
No. I'll be embarrassed and I'll get laughed at.
No, because Cameron will need someone who can lift at the same weight as he does.
Well, I
Excuse me.
guess it's fair.
You heard
I've
me.
been working in an apple grader all winter, so have done some lifting, but
Cameron, I can legitimately deadlift about almost 400 pounds. Do you really want to lift with
that's
me?
a small bear.
I'm trying to beat Wolf. Like, I'm legitimately competing to beat
I'm not trying to
Wolf.
compete. I'm trying to do it to help my depression and
Yeah,
make myself feel a
Get
bit better about
healthy.
myself.
but
No, I
I'm
don't care about
saying,
getting healthy. I'm still gonna eat candy and whatnot.
well, that's fine. I mean, that's you just gotta work off to burn it. But what I'm saying is, that's why I would invite Maya here, because then you would have someone who lifts with you, so you don't have to change out the plates every other lift to a heavier set. So, that's what I'm saying. But yeah,
But,
no. As far
yeah.
as it goes,
So if you want to give me advice, you can. Just remember, I'm gonna be doing this from the apartment, so I can't get too loud. So no jumping jacks or anything, unless I decide
God,
to go
jumping jacks don't.
to the
No,
Are
outside
jumping
world.
jacks even worth it?
no, they're
Like
No,
not.
not
honestly, that's what I thought. I haven't been
jumping
doing
jack
them just
is basically, well, for women I don't recommend it, for one, because you have boobs and that's just a bad combination. As a man who had
it's
boobs,
yeah.
trust me, that's a bad combination.
Yeah.
But no, my recommendation actually is, because it's a cardio workout, that's more to lose weight, and you should be running instead, because running is going to do more for you.
Mhm.
Um, as far as weight stuff, Cameron, I mean, my recommendation is, if you've got an empty milk jug, fill it with water.
That's
Overhead,
gonna be about 5 pounds. So
yeah, overhead presses with it, but one in both hands. Doing that to work
what
on
about a good
shoulders.
2-pound can of soup?
That, sure, whatever you can
What
lift, man.
about a 15-pound cat? I have like 2 of those.
Well,
I
those are
mean, I got
harder
an
to
18-pound
press.
baby.
Babies are worse because
Ah,
they cry.
Angel, come here. We're doing some exercises. Come here, buddy.
if they vomit on you, it's not gonna be good.
He's for it. Come here.
No. So,
I am bench pressing babies.
That
So what I do in my daily workout at home, for those who watch this who are watching this and are curious about what I do above head shoulder presses with dumbbells, about 30 pounds per arm, and then I switch that over to front arm swings, which is basically where you keep your arm straight in front of you and down to your side, and you try and raise your arm all the way up, just using mainly your shoulders. Those are 2 shoulder workouts. Then bicep curls. Everyone knows how to do a bicep curl. You've seen enough prison movies in your life. You know what a bicep curl is. Um, After that, I typically switch over to tricep curls, which is where I'll lay flat on the ground. I'll put my hands behind my head. I'll take the weight, set it on the floor, and then just lift straight up. That's all you're doing. You're not trying to bring it back over in front of your head. You're trying to keep lifting just behind your head while you're laying down. That's a good tricep. It works mostly lower triceps, so you won't get a massive bulge with it. But it's good for maintaining muscle. Um, then push-ups. I just do 15 to 30, then 12, 10, 8, and 6, easy. Um, After that is normal sit-ups. Then turn around, reverse sit-ups where you bring your knees up. Try to keep your knees or get your knees as close to your chest as you can. Then it's planking for a minute, then 45 seconds, then 30 seconds. Lastly, and this is going to be on recording, so if you need to listen back to this later, you're welcome to, because it'll be on my YouTube channel and on Twitch for a little bit. Lastly, I do, followed by that is swimmer kicks, which is basically having your feet out straight in front of you and doing kicks for about 60 to 70 up and down motions with that. Superman's for another minute 45 and then 30, and then lastly it's typically something along the lines of just leg ups. I'll do just for something to kind of stretch. I also do hip thrusters and then like side leg raises, but those are more because of the fact that I have to stretch out my hips left and right, because I have since I'm a heavier guy and I lift a lot of weight, I tend to get a lot of stress on my hips, so I try to do that while in between my workouts. If you're doing legs, I also recommend doing weight squats with your hands behind your head when you're going down, so that way it works your core more. And then calf raises, which you can do on a set of stairs, or on the curb. That's pretty much all I do. That's about an hour workout for me. And I usually do like 30, 12, 10, 8, 6, or 15 if I can't make it all the way to 30. And then do just 15, 12, 10, 8, 6. So
probably start with lower numbers, but okay, good to know.
If you do the 30 one, you make it up to 66 reps in total. And if you do it lightweight, it really starts to tone you quickly. Because right now, what I'm doing is I'm trying to lean. I'm not trying to bulk because I'm not eating a lot. So more of my muscle workouts are just to make my muscles show more and burn fat. I don't really care right now about building. So,
Well, I don't know if I don't have the same strength I used to because living in the car for a year impacted that because
mhm,
there wasn't a chance to do really anything other than go for short walks,
mhm,
and
Mhm.
for over half that time I was in the freezing cold.
yeah.
So my
Well,
body was regulating itself for fat that way because it was burning more fat to stay alive.
Well, then, yeah, my recommendation is calorie count. I mean, my diet's the most important thing for me. I
I will never calorie count. I tried to do that when I was younger. I went go on a diet,
So
and that just
the way
no.
I do it and the way I recommend doing it, because I don't believe in like actually calorie counting or macros or anything like that. So in the morning, I eat a granola bar because that's what my body needs to fuel it to work out. That's my body. So, like I said, some people eat more. I follow that with my pre-workout and then I work out. Afterwards, I take a little bit of honey and eat that. Typically, my honey is crystallized because it's just it's been sitting there for like a year. Um, because I didn't use it. I'm
It
not
never
allowed to
goes
make any
bad.
more
Don't
mead.
worry about it.
Well, I'm not allowed to make any more mead, so I just got to hold on to it. I eat
I mean, you
that.
could turn it into honey candy.
I could.
You can't
But I
make
don't.
meat anymore?
No, I'm not allowed to right now in the house. I've got too many. I've already
Yeah.
got too many
He has
gallons.
a closet full. Don't tempt him.
In
He can
Oregon,
explode.
yeah, in Oregon, legally, you're not supposed to have more than like 5 gallons per person or something like that. I'm a little over that. Right. Well, I was, so now I'm down below it, and my great aunt's like, no more meat because I'm done. I don't like the smell. I'm like, okay. So I just
Well,
accepted it.
I mean, if you want to mail me some, you can get it to me in 2 days. Then
If you want to
What?
mail me honey, I love honey. Honeycombs, good stuff.
The mead doesn't smell or anything now. It's fine. It's just the fact the process of making it, that fruit fermentation smell is terrible for some people. I love it,
Oh, yeah,
but
it is.
Dan, do you
can
mind
say
if
that
I have a
for-
weird question?
ask away.
Do you know anything about beekeeping?
Yes,
with
a
like your
lot.
experience with meat and stuff? Because I've been tempted to maybe look into it in the future.
Maya, if you start keeping bees, I will never come over to your house again.
Not.
There's
It
a
wouldn't
good
be
reason
in a
for it.
small house or in the near future, but future.
I swear to God, you ever get bees, I will never come over to your house. And if I do, I'm carrying bee spray on me everywhere. If one of those come near me, I'm spraying it
They're
down.
not wasps. They don't attack you for
I
no
don't trust
reason.
bees.
I don't trust you.
I got stung by a queen bee.
Hey, little man.
Tristan, don't talk to Angela like that back here.
Anyway, Dan, continue with your answer.
But yes, I do. I studied beekeeping because I plan to get my own beehive here in the near future when I get my own place. In Portland
Mhm.
specifically, you're allowed one hive per so many so many acres of land. So I plan to get as my second house, I'll eventually plan to get multiple acres. And get that set up because I want a couple beehives to make my own honey. But yes, I've had to study it a lot just because it has an interest. And one of my favorite zombie book
Mhm.
writers, he's big. He keeps his own bees, so that got me into it.
Oh.
But
Have you
yes.
heard of the flow hives?
Are you talking about like the old cones or?
No, there's a type of like beehive makers that are based in Australia, and they've made a hive where you can literally just get honey from like the combs they make, like how they design it,
Mm-hmm.
like without processing it or like actually technically like taking the frames out of the hive and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's supposed to be like a big thing. I
That's
could probably
interesting.
send you a link if you'd want to
Slowly
see
drips
it.
down
Yeah.
and it essentially congregates in one area, and you can open a valve and get the honey.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it like opens up, like you put in a lever thing and it like opens the cells or something,
Uh-huh.
and like the honey will drip out, and then you can
Oh.
close it back up and
Okay.
without actually disturbing the bees.
I think I know what you're talking about because I think I've seen. By the way, for those watching this stuff, afterwards you should go check out Project Crusader. He's live on Twitch right now. So, but as I was saying, yeah. So as far as that goes, I saw something for like a window unit that basically kind of did that, where they were trying to do that to push to get more people to help out local bees and such. So that'd be interesting. Yeah, feel free to send me a link. I'll check
Yeah,
it
I'm
out.
trying to find a video on the website, but I might just link you the website because I was definitely like, if I was gonna get into beekeeping, probably if it was easier, I'd be able to do it better. And I had a
Mhm.
friend who actually like sent me this
Okay.
and was like telling me that it was like some new invention because I was looking into it and it seemed like the options were like the top. I think it was like called Top Bar and then like the Lancaster or something. And like one of them, you had a bunch of heavy boxes, and so the cons were like weight and like disturbing the bees, but the pros were it was like easy honey gathering, and the other one you didn't disturb the bees as much and it wasn't as heavy, but you had to like destroy the combs to get the honey. So it was
Mhm.
like one evil or
Huh.
the other.
I'll have to check.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
I'd definitely be interested to check it out. That'd be kind of cool.
yeah, because I've been interested, maybe not as like a business, but just because I like honey so much, just to maybe like have a hive if I could like I don't
Yeah.
know find a
Find some
good
land.
hive
If you had
and
one
it
of
was
those
like
valve
affordable.
honey- If you had one of those valve hives, I can see you going out to the valve, sticking your mouth under it, and opening it. Just
Cameron's nuts. It's okay.
You have to wait for the good honey season because you have to also leave honey for the bees over winter.
You also have to
Yes.
leave out, make sure there are
Okay.
plants and stuff like that for them to go
Yeah,
and look at. 'Cause
there.
depending on the
I
plant.
couldn't find a video, but if you click on like the links to the hives, you'll probably find it. But there's the website.
All right, I'll check it out.
Yeah, because I had a
yeah.
friend who showed it to me, and it was just looked pretty cool.
Well, that's good to hear. See, yeah, you're getting your interest going, so definitely
Yeah,
check that
because
type of stuff.
I definitely think I don't want to become like Pilgrim or like an Amish, no technology meal nowhere, but I think I'd want to be as self-sufficient with stuff as food as I can be with like a garden and like the honey and maybe even like chickens and stuff.
Mhm.
I'm definitely interested in that. You know, just be more independent, more nature savvy, I guess.
I can already see the future, Mr. Maya. Some farmer type. I guarantee it.
Hey man, if I become a lumberjack in the future, I'm surrounded by trees. So, no. Put plaid on me.
Oh man, God, that's bad.
Once I get the biceps going, I just need the plaid, and then I'll be set.
Oh wait, no. If you're gonna wear plaid, that's lumberjack.
Mhm.
That's what I
You
said.
need denim.
No, I
Denim
don't
is
like
fine.
denim. I don't like denim. I have sensory issues, Cameron. I don't.
Just a light denim jacket.
Oh man, that's bad. Wait, you don't? So do you not wear jeans?
No, I don't
Wow.
like jeans. I wear looser pants and just like sweatpants or like leggings.
Oh, okay. I was
It's
like
like
trying
I'm
to think of
not.
that.
Yeah, I'm the only person like in my class who doesn't wear jeans, but I can't. Maybe
Well,
I'll try him again in the future, but like
I
I
mean,
just don't like him.
I'm gonna be honest. In college, I rarely see any people like a lot of guys wear them. But like traditional women, I rarely see in jeans unless it's like unless we're in our winter when it's like colder and shit and it's too cold for leggings. So it's typically leggings and yoga pants are the more common.
Yeah.
Although I don't know if they do that because of the fact that they're more comfortable or if it's just because of the fact that it's, fun to tease everybody at the school. Um
I don't wear anything to tease anyone, so I'm
that's
all
good.
about comfortableness.
That you'll have to change when
Bird
you
is
get
king.
when you get to the real world cuz then you have to wear suits and fuck, I forgot the name for the pants that they call them. Slacks. There we go.
Slacks
Mhm.
or skirts.
No.
Depending on the
No,
workplace.
No,
no
it's
skirts.
very rare for
No.
people to wear skirts anymore in the business world. It's almost always slacks now. Just
Okay,
because
I
it's more
don't
gender
want
you could
neutral.
make a real power move then.
No, it's
I
very
don't like skirts.
it's very gender
No,
neutral now.
this is men only. This is a men only one. You go into work wearing a kilt.
I have multiple times.
Yeah, unless you are in a profession where you need the mobility and pants can't provide it to you, I just don't see the practicality of skirts.
Skirts don't give you mobility, not business skirts. They're very immobile. I
No,
mean, like,
not the tight
yeah.
business skirts. I'm thinking like loose business skirts.
Oh.
Oh god, those tight
Yes.
skirts you see in the movies where they have like the cuts on the side. Those
If
things
you
are
ever tried to wear
impractical.
one of those, you would instantly be like,
I
no, I'm going to
would
change shorts
murder
now.
people. I would
You,
like
you would go look at
attack
somebody.
people.
You
Wait.
would look at your coworkers and be like, I'm going to change into basketball shorts. I will be right back.
I have basketball shorts. Don't test me.
Wait, so do I.
I have them in my purse. Don't test me.
I've split basketball shorts doing squats.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, I got. Fuka keeps telling me you've got too big of an ass. This is what
How
happens
long were
when
yours?
these are traditional basketball like shorts. They go like
It's
to
like
my knees.
to the knees.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Like-
I have.
Like little traditional like ghetto basketball shorts. I bought 4 pairs of them, each one in a different color, and my orange ones I tie them around my waist because they're too loose when I run, and
Mhm.
so I was doing squats, and yeah, I split the thing completely in half.
Like,
And to be fair, I can squat a lot of weight, so that might be why.
well, like in the SpongeBob ripped
Yep.
his pants episode. Oh my god.
Yep, like right down right down the center of the back. Yep. Luckily, they're like very multiple layers, so I split the first 2 layers of it, and the third luckily didn't. So, but I was walking around, I was like, why does this feel like? I was like, this feels weird.
There's
I
a
was like, whatever.
draft.
So I went to go
This
take them
feels
off.
breezier.
No, it was honestly because I felt the back of the fabric kept hitting my butt, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" So I took off my
That's-
shorts when I got home. I looked, and I was like, "Oh shit! I split my shorts when I was doing squats." I just went out and jogged around the neighborhood with split shorts. Okay, well, the neighbor's got an
Yeah.
iPhone.
I never embarrassed myself like
Just
that in
Be glad you
PE.
weren't- Just be glad you weren't going commando.
I'm not answering that.
No, I know you were.
Okay, I wear kilts traditional, and I typically wear jeans and shorts traditional. So, not gonna lie, that's a thing.
Who needs the undergarments? The garments do the job.
The only time I wear them is when I have to go to school, and that's because when I go to school, I go to the weight room where people don't appreciate it if you're when you're changing, unless you're old, basically stripping down to nothing. So that's just my kindness to everyone else, because no one wants to see my ass. All right, it's bad enough we gotta see the old people.
Some people.
That's
there
true.
might be some people out there, but yeah, the general populace.
Oh no! Hey, now Maya. Now wait. Now okay, we've discussed this. You gotta wait
You're
a few
too
more
young,
years.
Maya. Don't you start.
Now Cameron, on the other hand, is welcome to make all the jokes he wants.
I see how this
sorry,
is. He
I
can
don't
make
swing that
dirty
Mm-hmm.
way.
jokes, but I can.
Yeah, basically,
Yeah, you got a few years.
in a few years we'll accept it. It's okay. We do the same thing.
I'm
to
in
Trent.
high school. That's where all the dirty jokes come from. All
Yeah.
the hormonal kids with no
Yeah.
filter and little supervision.
But there's an issue. You're jailbait.
That's true.
That's
Well,
the
just
problem.
cut the stream. If there's no stream, there's no jailbait.
That's
No.
true.
The implication of it means that we're
no.
we're already on FBI watch list because we've implicated that might happen.
No.
Hey, it's alright. Bad enough.
Let's-
I've gotten one of my D&D players to fall for me. 2 technically.
Well, let's get back to the bees.
We can't
Next
count Luke in
subject.
that. You just baited him.
I did. I baited him with free food. That's all it took. Oh man. But
Um,
yeah.
People like food.
By the way, speaking of D&D, how did you like the item I sent you? This is Beardbone's idea of it.
I'm thinking I do like it. I just gotta think of a way to implement it into the world. I'm still I'm stuck right now in the D&D lore, and that's been the biggest issue. I've hit a big block, and that's because I'm trying to write a poem/song that one of the gods wrote to prove his interest in Saphira, the dragon goddess. So
I like poems.
Okay, send me the god. I remember a bunch about this. Oh my god, why do I have useless memory?
No, I mean that's the thing. I'm taking my time right now with it. I've kind of started composing something. I also took Maya gave me some good inspiration on making a song, and I did the Time Fuckers song. And so there's
The
no
best
song.
Artist
thing ever.
inspiration.
Yep, there's
Well,
a
if you need
song.
help songwriting, I can't guarantee singing because I'm not a singer, but I do like songwriting and poetry. So
Well,
As
you know,
long as no one's in here when I record it, I can sing. It's
I'm not
yeah, I'll
looking to
sing
sing
it.
it.
key, but
I'll sing when I'm home by myself, like just to myself.
Oh man. Well, see, the thing is, I'm not trying to sing it. It's just I need something that kind of fits. So I'm
Mhm.
taking my time. I've posted it
But-
in the chat though, or in the Champions of Pyrrhus. It's the history of Silencia. One. And it's
Oh.
I'm like. I'm at the end of the beginning of corruption, trying to finish up Tanaruk's like whole like tale, and so that's what I'm stuck on. I've done
Oh,
the
I
first
had
2 tasks. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a question by the way for like the tattoo thing you were talking about. Are these tattoos magical or just normal tattoos?
So the tattoos I was referencing are magical, so they store spells.
Okay, sweet. I'll keep that in mind, maybe for the future.
It's
Because
definitely
I
something
thought
worth
that
it.
was cool, like just for the tattoo thing. But I was like, wait, but is it magic?
Yeah, it comes from the Unearthed Arcana. They finally added it into actual D&D Beyond. So,
Yep.
because tattoos. Oh, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
I was gonna say tattoos have actually been in D&D since like 3rd edition. So as far as like magical, so that's why I was looking to get it done.
Yeah.
Mhm. I mean-
Unearthed Arcanas.
yeah, Unearthed
I have
Arcana
mixed
brought a lot
feelings.
more to the table, and yeah, you're annoyed by it because it made one of your.
The Artificer. I had an Artificer, and then after the update, I got the official Artificer, and the Alchemist one, they completely screwed it over. They completely, I hate it.
To the ground.
Even my friend who's like a min-maxer, like he does good builds where you get powerful characters, he absolutely hated it as well. Like it took
But-
what made like the Artificer, like
Mm-hmm.
any battle combat part of it, like for the Alchemist, and it just basically made it a nerdy cleric but weak.
So I'm gonna be honest here. I didn't go with the alchemist build. I went with the tinker artificer, because that's what Tenem became officially, as it kind of mixed his merchant and fighter thing, and he nearly killed all of Grim Legacy on his own.
Yeah.
Because artificers
Yeah.
get 6 different
Here,
items
Rebecca,
to
got some
attune
check on
to.
Go check laundry.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
So
Was this
6.
before or after the official?
This was like like a week or 2 ago.
Okay.
So yeah.
The
I think
Tinker is the one that gives you the turret and stuff. Or is that Battlesmith?
I think well here I can actually pull up the character sheet. You know what?
Because I haven't seen the other classes. I've just done the Alchemist one, but the Alchemist one they gave you some good spells, and like one of them was like Melf's Acid Arrow, and like you got like a poison damage modifier,
Mhm.
and like I got with that character, I also got the because you can attune to a bunch of stuff. I got the Clockwork Amulet, so it was like you roll a 10. My character had like a +8 spell attack. Okay, that's an 18 to hit with the arrow at like level 7 to 8, I think, or
Yeah.
like so it was pretty good. So it's like with that, you get a lot of damage and you get the poison damage bonus. It was like a pretty good mix, and it was like, well, obviously you're not supposed to be beefy, but with this build, I could still do decent combat. And with the homunculus was just something you had there. It wasn't something you had to waste a slot for, or like in a what are they?
Yeah, you didn't have
you
to
didn't have
spell slot it.
Yeah, no, or like what's the spell slot? They're called the infusions. You didn't have to waste an infusion because now they made it an infusion, and no one, except maybe story-wise, wants to waste an infusion on that when you could have magical items or increased armor.
So
or like, and there's also, yeah, it's just.
I'm gonna be
It
honest
made me
with
mad.
you. If you want to min-max the artificer, and this is how I did it. Grey Dwarf, Battlesmith, Artificer. Level 20, you not only have at level 20 you have the improved steel defender. You have your homunculus, which your homunculus isn't always that great. Honestly, it's more like a companion.
Yeah.
But with that, you
Same with Dire Wolf, you get the same thing.
Yeah, basically.
No, the thing with the homunculus that was good was the salves it had before they got rid of it. It had the salves where you can like give fly to a friend and you could do a little healing, and that was what's good about it.
That's
It
a
wasn't
pretty
the
much
spell.
free action, yeah, because
Yeah.
the homunculus counted as
It
its own
wasn't.
creature.
When I played it, I didn't think it was overpowered, but I'm not a min-maxer. But like before it, they
Which
did a
reminds
spell
me.
thing with the homunculus.
Which reminds me, I remembered a broken item for Normac, and I'm happy about it. Master's
What's that,
Amulet.
Joanna?
Oh yeah.
Normac's
yeah.
gonna be getting a Shield Guardian.
Yeah.
So 25 AC plus 2, I'll have 27 AC regularly.
Jesus. But I recommend
Tanky boy.
Maya, if you're gonna do it, definitely go Battlesmith Artificer with a Grey Dwarf,
Mhm.
because I mean I've got 6 different items that I've got attuned to Tenem.
Mhm.
He is a 20 AC character. He's managed. I mean, he's got some pretty decent stats, and he's got 240 HP. Like I mean, given he's level
Easy
20.
boy.
But his strength is 21 due to his gear. Like, you can really set these guys up, like, if you know what you're doing for
Yeah.
min-maxing. I
One of
can't
the-
min-max spellcasters, but fighting classes I'm good with.
I gotta learn to min-max paladins. That's the only thing I care
The
about.
AC stuff's pretty good, but like one of the weapon things they had was like I think they gave you like a +1 that you could like throw and it'd
Mhm.
like come back, and then they gave you like another +1 option, but you can't really stack them.
Hmm
So it's like you can't even give yourself like a +2 weapon even at like level 20.
Well,
So it's like, well,
actually-
why would you?
the best way to do that is then put the +1 on an arrow
Yeah.
Yeah.
and be
I-
range with an arrow, and then that
Maybe.
arrow always returns after it hits, so it's always that constant
Well, there's
+1.
one that's like made for like guns and like bows, and then there's one that's made for like normal weapons. And
Yeah.
it was the normal weapon one, and I was looking into it because my like friend, I think no, it was like you can't have 2 infusions on the same one, but also if you get a +1 weapon, you can't infuse it.
Yes.
So it's like, why would you keep a normal weapon with a +1 when you could get like a +3 later on? It makes the infusion basically useless, and I don't like that.
I will 100% say that, yeah, you're right. Infusions are basically useless. The main thing for the Artificer that I found was really good was Soul of the Artifice, which basically makes it so you
Mhm.
don't die, which is really useful.
Yeah.
The other thing was Arcane Jolt, which came in real good handy, which is just basically dealing 4d6 extra force damage, or you can restore
That was-
4d6 to hit points. Yeah.
I don't think that's for alchemists, but that does sound good.
No, this is a Battlesmith that I
Yeah.
built. I didn't use any of the infuse item, and I didn't use any of the spell storing, because I didn't see a reason in it. My main thing
Mhm.
was definitely the Arcane Jolt and the Soul of the Artifice, and then just that extra ability to take on all that extra equipment. Because as you level up and you get more magic items, you can attune to more stuff. And when your party maxes out like at 2 or 3 items, any items after that you can pretty much choose yourself.
Yeah. The alchemist seems a lot more like a support class, and I think it
Mhm.
has an ability where you can like give like a plus to your intelligence modifier later on to like saving throws or checks your teammates gets. But what sucks is if they're making a support class, they don't give you that many good support spells. I feel like not like a bard gets.
Yeah.
You kind of just got like elemental stuff.
Mhm.
It seems like, but you can't do a lot of damage, and it's like, well, you could heal, but why be an artificer when you could be a cleric and also do good damage?
Yeah.
So I feel
Or
like
if you
it-
didn't want to be a cleric and you wanted to be more up front, you could be a paladin and still have good healing.
Yeah. So it's like it's like not a lot of people do that much like crafting. So
Mhm.
like even that aspect of it is like if you don't find a good group that does stuff like that, it just falls flat. I feel like.
Honestly,
Yeah.
the Artificer fits into more RP-heavy campaigns.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
which is
the Artificer I built,
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely got him designed to where he is definitely support with his magic. But I picked the spells specifically for that reason. Everything is definitely just. I mean, I've got, like I said, if you go Grey Dwarf, you get a lot more options. I feel. Because you get stuff like invisibility and enlarge or reduce, which are really good as an artificer to have, just because it makes it so you don't have to be on the front lines and it's a lot easier to get away from combat. But I've got most of my stuff is definitely almost 100% like support. I think it just depends on how well knowledgeable you are of your spells. So that may be what you need to look into. God damn it, my books aren't showing up. But yeah, I mean, if you ever want
Okay.
help with min-maxing.
Sorry, I got cut out. I had to leave and come back.
Oh, no worries. I was just
I
saying.
did have another idea that was inspired by older D&D for armor.
Well, then you'll be
It's
happy
terrible.
to hear, Cameron, that I bought the D&D book from 3rd edition called Arms and Equipment Guide that basically goes through and helps build equipment. So
Mm.
I'll be
'Cause
doing
I'm
that.
basing it. The sword that I sent you was based off of an old 3.5 god,
Mhm.
Eo,
Yeah.
the dragon god,
Mhm.
and I thought of armor to pair with the sword,
Mhm.
made of layering the scales of different colored dragons together until they combine
See, I am
by
so
forging them.
tempted to do a 3.5 campaign.
I'd be
If you
interested
do, I
to
want
try
two
it out.
things. I want to be a bald dwarf with a beard, and I want to become a magic caster, a mix between magic caster, essentially an eldritch knight for the time, and I want a fire elemental.
Well, that's up to
Was
your
it-
character design. What's up,
Was
Maya?
it 3.5 or Pathfinder
Difficult.
where they gave tieflings the goat legs?
Well, actually, first edition D&D, that's the case. But that's Pathfinder.
Because I was gonna say it's actually kind of cool. I don't mind it, but I was like, I forget. I was like, I heard that like before 5th edition,
Of course you would
tieflings
mind it.
had
You
like
had your
demon
character
legs.
sleep with the goat.
No, that's not it.
So
I just think it's more demonic-like.
the reason why they don't do it in D&D is because the history of tieflings from Pathfinder is different. Tieflings in D&D are basically a human slept with a demon.
Yeah.
So that's
Or-
why, and the whole personification of tieflings was the design kind of around a succubus kind of creature. This is a creature of what is pure temptation, because it's a human who basically gave in to their temptation. So something to
like made a
contemplate.
deal.
Yep. So that, and in Pathfinder they have tieflings are a little bit different. So I don't do
Are they
Pathfinder.
more like Fae-like or something?
I think so, something along they're more demonic is kind of the idea.
Yeah.
So
I just thought it'd be funny. You have a tiefling and you're trying to do stealth check, and it's like you fail, and it's like, oh, your goat hoofs.
no, it's already bad enough because tieflings are already basically despised by most of society in traditional
Yeah,
D&D.
it's funny because in the lore, it's like everyone hates these, but in like every homebrew campaign, everyone just doesn't mind tieflings.
Well, in my world, it really depends on where you are.
Mhm.
The fact is that I'm doing a more modern game, and I say modern
Yeah.
compared to Time Fuckers. It's the fact that modern trade has taken place. One of the campaigns,
Yeah.
and Cameron was part of the Time Fornicators at this time when we were talking about this, was I was debating on doing an old like a traditional barbarian campaign, like way back at the very beginning of history.
Mhm.
Which in that case is, yeah, if you played a tiefling and you showed up in the dwarves would be thinking at you like you were a demon and wanting to kill you and get rid of you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now when it's common, you see traders from all over. It's more common to see of different races. So
And I can see why, because they give tieflings a natural like racial charisma. So you think if people got over the stigma of their appearance, they're so charismatic. Why couldn't they like charm people and
Mhm.
make good merchants and stuff?
exactly,
Yeah.
you just need a pair
Like
of
especially like, yeah, it's like oh gosh, a tiefling tabaxi, just a furry person with horns and a tail.
No, I mean like getting a merchant group of tieflings and tabaxis.
Aw,
It's perfect.
that'd be fun. I've had some fun character ideas, probably ones I may not use because they might not actually work, but like just fun character ideas.
Hey, if you ever decide you want to play a character and you want me to help you work them into the world, you just gotta let me know.
Yeah, I've had some ideas. Speaking of, I had questions like, are artificers, are they allowed in your world or
Yes.
not? Okay, what about blood hunters?
Yes, we've
Okay,
had
just
3 blood
wondering.
hunters.
I thought so, but I wasn't sure because I think wasn't there that one NPC with the time where we threw a cat in the fire when Dibus was alive?
Yep.
I think
Yep.
Volkiak was there. Yeah, I thought that one guy was a blood hunter.
Yes, Wolf's character, his goblin, was a blood hunter. And then Wolf ran that character during the knowledge of opportunity or something like that. The campaign I built around for one shot that they did for a little while, and then Fraz is now also playing a blood hunter currently. So
Yeah. Because I've had some ideas. The problem
Yeah.
I have is not character ideas. The problem I have is character mechanics. So.
well, yeah, mechanics are gonna be tough. That's why I don't play wizards, because I don't want to have to read through all their spells.
Yeah, wizards is like, I didn't think I was a big fighter, and I was like, well, spellcasters, and Cam was like, well, there's wizards. I didn't really think my first character through, but now that I've seen the other spellcaster classes and stuff, I'm like, yeah, maybe not wizard.
Wizards can be very powerful. It's just
If you play them right.
Well,
yeah,
yeah,
you
look
have
at
to
Zilpip.
you have to
Zilpip-
break the game essentially. You have to make the game bend to your will.
Yeah, Zilpip is a
Yeah.
wizard, but the fact is he's min-maxed
Mhm.
his character to a specific
Yeah.
design. So,
And I can't do that good.
well, it just takes
Oh,
time.
yes, you could. Here's what you do. You say, okay, I'm gonna swap off all my strength, and if I can't lift a goddamn anything higher than a stick, but you know what? My intelligence is through the fucking roof.
Yep, it's called
Maybe,
Glass
but-
Cannon.
That's awesome. Well, which is actually how my friend described artificers to begin with before the official content, like during
No, no, no.
playtesting.
Mm,
That's
mhm.
how he described it.
Yeah.
was
The
glass
true
cannon.
glass cannon. The true glass cannon is the bard that does not take healing word.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, because bards don't do that much damage.
yeah.
Because
At
the
least-
moment the bard does not have healing word is the
Hey.
moment the party turns on the bard.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever done like a bard rogue
Yes.
multi-class before, or do you know how
That's a
that's
good one.
gone?
Yeah, that's
It
pretty
is
Those are
common.
good.
if you
Those
get it
do
right.
good together.
Okay,
Yeah.
because I had an idea of possibly something involving those two in the future, but I wasn't sure how they went together.
I min-maxed some damage things on my own in free time. I was able to create something I like to call the Backpack Pally Boy. It was a bard
Ah,
rogue paladin that could deal smite, sneak attack, inspiration, all in the same turn with
You-
the right feats.
You
There-
told me about this guy.
There's only one
The
issue.
Backpack Boy.
There's
He
only-
would destroy things.
There's only one issue: is a paladin and a rogue don't mix well because of the fact if your DM's really big on alignment, they're not gonna work well.
Yeah. Unless
Oh,
you're
you
like
can
an
be
evil
Robin Hood.
paladin.
Robin
Robin
Hood
Hood?
was
Or
not
two.
a paladin.
No,
No.
he was a rogue, but he was a good rogue.
He wasn't
Chaotic
a good. Well,
That'd be a chaotic
Yes,
good rogue.
but there aren't many gods that are going to take on a chaotic good paladin. Typically, you'd probably have to go Oathbreaker,
Yeah.
most likely, if you were gonna run that.
Yeah.
Now, this is why I
That's
wanted to.
still smite damage. I threw it together just to see if they would work together with the smite damage, sneak attack, and everything stacking.
But see, that's
And
the
it
thing.
did.
That's why I wanted to do 3.5, because in 3.5 it really encourages more multi-classing stuff, because to do prestige
Mhm.
classes and stuff you have to multi-class. So,
The Eldritch Knight I was talking about before, you have to
Is a
take a magic
prestigious.
caster and then a martial class.
yep.
5 at each
Um,
level.
There's my favorite, the Bear Warrior, which is typically a
Mhm.
druid or barbarian with high enough strength to take it. So, and then basically you can turn into a bear, go into a rage, go into a frenzy, and do like shit tons of damage. It was the It was
That
the only
sounds fun.
way that as a fighting class towards late game you could actually do well compared to your teammates who are magic casters.
Mhm.
As late game wizards in 3.5 were doing like 12d10 points of damage each turn. And if you were just playing a straight barbarian that didn't prestige, you were looking at maybe at most 4 attacks each turn. So,
Oh man.
you
I
weren't
mean,
doing high DPS.
my-
When I played 3.5, I ended up making the Eldritch Knight for a little bit. It was an amazing thing because I was able to fireball, then run up and smash something with an axe.
There you go.
And being a dwarf, that felt great!
Have you guys ever done like barbarian classes where they're like unarmed but still can
Yep.
do like a crap ton of damage?
Yep, a drunken fight or a drunken brawler barbarian or drunken
Mhm.
style barbarian is really good in 3.5. They're called grappler. There's also the grappler barbarians that are pretty much you basically go up, grapple your opponent, and squeeze them to death.
Fun.
Uh huh.
I hug you, brother!
Yep.
Nope, I broke his spine.
Yeah, it was basically
Yeah.
that. And then basically you'd wear spiky armor and you'd impale them on your armor.
0.5 barbarians.
Yep, 3.5 barbarians were good. But all right, guys, I'm gonna actually take off. Feel free to message me if you have any more questions. But
Okay.
I'm gonna go kick back for the evening.
Okay.
Peace.
By the way, wait, one more thing.
What's up?
Fuck Pokemon